Well, I didn't think I would be ever making a back-to-back flawless video, but here we are. And the circumstances are kind of unusual because I was actually going for a particular challenge or a request at least. And usually when I'm going for challenges or requests, I'm ending up losing a lot of early turns because I'm trying to get particular pets or a particular setup for later. But because this particular request involved summon units, the whole pack is mostly set up for summons. Now, it's not completely optimized. There are definitely some pets that are obviously missing from this. I don't think Muskox is in here, for instance. But it doesn't really matter as long as your pack is kind of stuffed with enough units from one archetype. Almost every single level up is going to be perfect for your team, and therefore, the entire premise of the game just breaks down and you end up winning almost every time. So obviously this is from before the update, so Blobfish is still tier 3. I will be uploading videos from before the update for a while yet, just the same as every update. I'm really glad it's been moved up. You can definitely see in this run and probably the next one as well how busted it is. But we're just setting up, and the particular request that I was going for was involving trying to get Stork onto the team as early as possible. In this particular game, I don't find it. I was just rolling a lot of the time just for Stork and Spider, because of course if you pill Spider, you can get level 2 Blobfish. So we get the Stork here, and I just take Secretary Bird. I think my options there was at Secretary Bird and Whale. You're basically almost always going to be presented with two pets that are going to be useful for your team if you've stacked the pack in your favor. And yeah, we've got the double Blobfish. We're just looking for another one to get the instant level up to get that level to tier 5 straight away, which is so ridiculously strong. And I mean, it's kind of unfair on the people who don't have Star Pack. So I'm also going to save the Stork level, and then we'll just buy the Avocado to have more gold next turn. And I end up getting this really nice roll where I end up with triple Stork Frozen. And I mean, kind of spoilers for the end of the video, but I'm not going to get the thing that I was playing for. Hopefully that will be another video. Although at time of recording, I still haven't managed to do it. Essentially, it's just one of these kind of endurance challenges where there's really no difficulty at all in getting to the end and getting, the particular pets you need. It's really just a case of, are you going to get the RNG necessary in the final battles? And I haven't been able to get it so far. But here, because we pilled the Blobfish, I decided to pill the Spider as well, and we'll get the permanent buffs from the Secretary Bird onto the Stork. And I'm freezing Donut because that was a part of the whole challenge. Although it ends up not mattering here, I don't think at all. And of course, when you have Stork and Spider and you have stacked the deck in your favor, then you're going to get amazing spawns every time as well. So it ends up where you have all these battles where it looks like you're in trouble, and then you just end up winning because you get all the perfect things out of Stork and out of Spider. So we're going to freeze the Crow because we can level up the Stork next turn if necessary. And I'm not sure at this point if I'd even really noticed that I was on a perfect game, or at least a flawless. I mean, there's always debate whether or not perfect game and flawless are the same thing. I think perfect game, maybe people think 10 wins, 10 turns, but flawless just means you don't lose at all. So here we have drawn one, I think. Yeah, turn 9 we have drawn one game. And I decide here to go for Grizzly plus Vulture. I'm pretty sure I've done a Grizzly Vulture video before, but it's just, it's so much fun having the two separate snipers who are shooting at different numbers of feints or attacks, and we're basically going to be constantly taking shots at the opposing team, especially when we get Octopus there. And really, you're just hoping for the RNG that you don't get opponents that have Crocodile or Lynx, because at this point, the units at the back are not protected at all. Because it's a dedicated summon pack, of course I have lemon and potato and mushroom all in there, but having frozen the chocolates, I wasn't going to be able to find them. So Sabretooth doesn't have any room to spawn there, but it doesn't really matter too much. This team does have Emu, which is very nice to see. But I think here they're going to spawn tier 1. Yeah, we get deer from the stork. And then the Emu is going to kick the tier 1 forward and therefore result in the Sabretooth getting killed off. So it worked out quite nicely there. So that's 9 wins with a perfect score so far. Obviously I've given away the fact that I'm going to win every single turn in both of these games. But we take Pi kind of as a makeshift protection on the back units. And it's a big Starfish scaling team. But with the summons from the Stork and the summons from the Eagle, it's only a level 1 Eagle as well. The double Garlic really isn't going to make any difference. And we're just getting so many feints and attacks that it comes down to Starfish at the end. We get a level 3 Vulture and it doesn't matter. So there's game 1. I didn't find what I wanted in order to actually use my donutted Stork there. So we just play again, go back to the start, and we'll go again. And I guess, flawlesses are pretty dependent on the early game pets. Of course you can stack tier 1 to have everything that you want that you think is going to help you win. But on turn 1 and 2, there's really not a whole lot you can do. It's purely just the luck of the draw. And here we get lucky with a Moth team that gives all their attack to a Flamingo for no real reason, and it's a tie. I think they would have probably been better off there just having one of the Moths at the front so that they didn't have 2 weaker units. We find a spider, and I'm just rolling for more spiders, more storks, or a stork since we don't have one yet. And we do get the level up there. And Muskox, although the duck is going to be able to clear it, and then the cricket is big enough to knock out the chinchilla. So we're going to set up for another level 2 blobfish. And definitely this is not really my preferred way to play the game. It becomes very, very mechanical where, you never really feel at risk. You feel like it doesn't matter what you do. I mean, you really have to badly misplay to not at least get to sort of 8-9 wins if you have a pack set up like this. So I'm going to sell the duck and take both stork and flea. I was taking flea quite a lot of the time, and here I think I'm going to combine the spiders and keep the blobfish separate so that we can get another level up on turn 7. You can see it's basically the same thing as the last game. Opposing flea, but I don't think it's going to matter. Stork, the opposing team here where they've got the summon pets, they definitely should have a stork in there as well. And here we get the tie. It's very common to see that where it looks like it's grim, but then you end up tying anyway because you get a summon loop. And then here I buy the broccoli because I want the stork to survive snipes in the future. Maybe not necessary, but there were a lot of runs that were getting spoiled by the stork getting sniped. This person, every time I play them, they have a toad elephant. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. It seems a kind of a strange team to constantly play over and over, but each to their own. And now we're on turn 7. We can do all the level ups. We get wolf and stonefish. And stonefish, although it's not a summon pet, having stonefish come out of stork can be very, very good, especially when it's level 3. Again, we get wolf and vulture, and then we've got shark as well. So I'm going to am I taking vulture again? Yep. And I think we probably should sell spider for wolf, but honestly, it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, and we'll freeze potato to protect the vulture. And I think this is the same Muskox team as earlier. And again, it's melon with high stats, but the flea is going to do good work, and the vulture instantly kills the shark, which was absolutely ideal there. And they only have the level 1 stork at the back. So no surprise, we've yet to lose any hearts. We'll take the potato, buy the chocolate, and then I think maybe another potato, or maybe just some extra health on. Okay, I'm just going to roll for it. We definitely could be getting rid of Spider here, but there was nothing in the shop that I particularly wanted. And Spider, to be honest, can last a lot longer in customs than you would probably keep it in pack 1. And kind of funny to see the sea urchin get sniped there and therefore trigger before it was at the front of the queue. And then here I get the beluga, which was part of the challenge I was trying to do. And we'll level it up straight away. And we get Sabertooth. So again, I take the donut. And I think here I just buy the second flea. Or maybe I do take the Sabertooth, I can't remember. Yeah, we're going to take the level 2 Sabertooth. And then just keep the stork and flea for next turn. I am fishing for a particular tier 6 unit, which I didn't get there, but I might get it fairly soon. Sabertooth ultra strong, kind of a little bit surprising that it escaped any nerfs with the yesterday's update. And we'll buy the flea. Kind of a bit late for blobfish now, so I'm just going to buy an apple onto the stork to increase its survivability. And I was having a lot of problems with when running summon teams, that I was getting sniped by mantis shrimp at the front so frequently. So that's another reason for taking flea, in that I'm not really bothered if the mantis shrimp snipes the flea, because usually it has 0 stats. Chicken leg, which I was also buying a lot of the time onto the stork to try and keep it alive. And here we get the tapir. So I'm going to put the tapir inside instead of the Sabertooth. And now that means that if the stork survives, the tapir will copy the stork. And here's another mantis shrimp team. A very strange team actually, where they have high health on everything except the blowfish. So they must have got the blowfish very, very late. And really this seems like it would be a loss, but actually we get tapir. The elephant does a bit of damage to the rabbit, and then we get another tie. So extremely unlikely tie there. I guess there were probably a few things that could have spawned instead of the scorpion that might have won us that battle, but you know, on 5 hearts, like you really just feel invincible with these kinds of teams, as long as you get enough 1-ups and levels. Another team that snipes the front, but it's very weak in comparison. Unfortunately, the stork does get sniped, so the tapir can't copy it. But again, we're gonna end with 3 vultures on the board. I think at this point I had realized that I was on for back-to-back flawless runs, but I'm not sure. So we just take the pie here. Otherwise, I might have taken the avocado there. And it's the exact same team. This time the blowfish does have some health, but it's not quite enough to draw the weakness from the flea. But potato is really going to help out a lot here, because it wastes some of the blowfish snipes, and I think it was still only a level 1. And the elephant is going to start going ham, killing its own teammates. Pretty hilarious ending that it double kills the last 2 pets on the team. So there are 2 flawless games back to back, and then we'll just go to the menu and go to the history so you can see the 2 wins. Pretty rare. I'm sure it's not going to happen to me again anytime soon, especially since I've taken a break from playing that particular summon pack.